There's so much to tell you guys. Okay, so first of all, you guys, it was recently International Women's Day, but did you know that it's Women's History Month? I didn't even know that. Oh, you knew that. You're just saying that because you're drunk. No, I didn't know that. I knew it was International Women's Day, and that started a long time ago. And I also saw a whole bunch of the things that the media did that a lot of people grumbled about because they were kind of, token gestures. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the big one everyone talked about was that McDonald's turned their M upside down, so it looked like a W for women. So, as one person pointed out, oh, well, is it supposed to be an M the rest of the time for men? Like, I didn't even know I was supposed to feel shitty about that. Now I do. And also, McDonald's is already for women because let me tell you, if there is like the poster child meal for PMS is a Big Mac attack. So I don't know if anybody knew that who's not female, but for me, what upset me about it, some people were upset because it was like a token gesture. They're like, why don't you give us more pay? Why don't you do something like that? Is that when it was turned upside down, to me, it looked like sagging boobs or a little tight ass. I was like, oh my God, that's what you're doing? Like, you're just reminding me of like the days of TNA, and I recently watched a show, a show about the 70s, and they were actually showing all these news clips where all the newscasters were talking about these TNA shows. For those of you who are too young, TNA means tits and ass. And I was like, oh my God, all these newscasters had to go on TV and say that, about Charlie's Angels, and they had to keep talking about it. Even the women, they had to go on and say TNA, the two women journalists in the 70s, they had to do that. And I was thinking, like, what about if the men had to do that? Could you imagine? They're like, there's a lot of Dick and Ball shows on. We're worried about the DMV, which I've heard about. There is a place called DMV now. I think that's what it is, right? David Buster's. But anyway, and so there's just a lot of weird little contradictions about Women's Day. We definitely still need it to bring attention. Did you guys even know that the ERA never passed? I know that's hilarious, right? That's so funny. No, but seriously, like, even a few years ago, International Women's Day actually fell on Mardi Gras, and both of them were set dates, but I was like, seriously, come on. International Women's Day is on the day that pop culture knows as the day that women flash their boobs to get plastic shit that later gets thrown in the gutter. I was like, come on. I was like, I will only show my boobs for like semi-precious stones. And I was like, that's just what I want, it's like equal pay. Which I realize that's not quite equal pay because, speaking of Miguel, I don't know where you got your pictures, but men, I've learned, will show their B and D for no pay. But speaking of I do want to thank Chris at the Pink Flamingo because we have come a long way. I've heard that women only make about 70% still what men make, and I think it's been bumped to about 81%. Chris pays us 100% because I did the math. 0 times 100% is 0. And I have to tell you, thank you for clapping because I did the math myself. Like, I was going to check with one of the male comics, but then this morning, this for real happened. My contacts broke, and I had to wear my glasses, and I didn't know this would happen. I'd seen it in movies, but spontaneously when they broke, my hair, it went into a ponytail all by itself, just like this, and I got a clipboard. I was like, oh my God, I'm so smart. Because I have glasses. It was so weird. And then, like, suddenly I knew that not only was it International Women's Day, but also that Women's History Month was, I read it on Wikipedia and I wrote it down with my pen, with my glasses, with my ponytail, that apparently was a special presidential proclamation in 1987. Now, here's the thing though, you guys. The only thing that we remember, or me anyway, as a special presidential proclamation is the one. You guys all know the one. Happy birthday. So I don't even have to do it. You all know what I'm talking about. And that's why we need a Women's History Month, which is also about, celebrating women's contributions, because do you know that the woman who invented the first computer algorithm is barely known? Now, the name, Linda Lovelace, is way more recognized than the name Ada Lovelace. It's true, and Ada Lovelace she invented the computer. She helped a guy invent the computer, and then she was the one who realized, oh my God, this thing is more than a calculator, look what it can do. But here we are, and how many of you, seriously, you guys, how many of you know who Ada Lovelace is? And how many of you, know who, and thank you for being honest also, how many of you know who Linda Lovelace is? All right. Now, I'm not trying to diminish Linda Lovelace's contribution to society. I mean, for those of you who don't know, she did the movie Deep Throat in the 70s. I'm just saying that I'm sure that Ada Lovelace also gave a really good